now I did. Hold on a second. Oh, is the State of the Union right now?
No, it's tonight.
Okay. That was weird. Something.
I think you have to look. I think you have to link it. I'm not sure
I
who.
did link.
If you're watching us right now, tell us where you're watching from.
Does it show people are watching?
Nope. Because I have to share from your page.
Right.
So if you're not linked up, then we may be just talking to blank air. Okay. All right. It looks like you're live. So I'm going to share your. Hold on a minute.
Oh my gosh. I can't even handle Facebook right now. I can't look at anything.
I tell you what, it has been a real struggle. All right, I'm going to share it to group. I am live on my page now.
It's not showing me yet that I'm live, but we'll get there.
Okay. I think we are
Take
live
two.
once
Okay,
again.
here we
Take
go.
two.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, these days, we're talking about what fake keto really was, right? It's the
Yes.
products, it's the keto cereal, it's all of those things that say they're keto that really are not keto. And the fact of what keto really is whole foods. It is protein packed days. It's it's the blood sugar stability. It's all of those things. So the marketing of keto has really failed us because
Mm-mm.
it has made it into this fad, made it into this thing that it really isn't. And so when people say is keto dead, well, their definition perhaps, but what doesn't go away is science. And the fact that when you switch your brain from burning sugar and carbs to burning your own body fat for fuel, and you put ketones in your body and you're burning fat even when you're sleeping, it's a scientific fact. And so no, keto is not dead. It's the foundation of everything we do. Put a name on it, put whatever name on it that you want. But people think that keto stopped working because they listened to the media, they listened to these fads, and then they started looking at this shiny object called the GLP-1, and they're like, "Well, let's go over here instead." When the foundation never broke in the first place, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and here's the honest truth as well is the fact that the common reasons, like I was saying, I at the beginning, there are you'll have to watch our first of the other video to
For
understand
one,
what this one is. But I'll repeat what I was talking about, the social aspects of when you're changing your health for these very reasons of ailments or the medications that you're on or mental fogginess or PCOS. The top one being where it was rooted was
mm-hmm,
epilepsy in children, like things like that. That science that was discovered
mm-hmm,
is healing your brain and your gut. But the common reasons that people also tend to go astray is because they're not getting enough protein there because they're eating too much fat because they think,
mm-hmm.
oh, keto, we're eating just sticks of butter, and
Right.
oh, we're just eating a bunch of bacon only. I think the source of your protein matters as well.
Mm-hmm,
So, and when you're just eating because you say, oh, this is healthier than what I was, that is true. Maybe like if you
mm-hmm,
were eating healthier than what you were, there is that calorie creep. There is that thing that when you're tracking, and I found that when I went carnivore, when I was just eating the protein to feel full and balancing it with fats, I was eating too many calories and I was maintaining my
mm-hmm,
weight, but I wasn't losing weight.
mm-hmm,
So there, that all plays together. And then you've got the hormonal shifts. Well, if you're not addressing the hormonal shifts in
mm-hmm,
a woman that is still cycling or a woman that is in menopause or perimenopause, things like that, when you are not eating correctly for those hormones, then
mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, this isn't working, I don't
Right.
feel good, or blah blah blah, oh, I'm not losing weight. Well, there's a lot of other things factored into that, like chronic stress and cortisol.
Right.
We carry a lot of that. We have a lot of that in this day, in our society today, where we are filling our calendars or we are putting everybody else first. And you may not feel like that is stressful, but really, I think it's like a sneaky stress.
Hmm.
I think it is
Right.
when you are not taking a time to heal yourself and put some peace within yourself. I believe that it's just going to shoot right up.
Right.
Another one is where people are not they're just doing they think that working out is great and that's going to be the thing that they are going to lose weight with, but really, like we always talk about, is that it starts in the kitchen
Hmm.
first. That's where you're going to lose your weight. But the importance of going to the gym is to build the muscle. So
Hmm.
when you are not doing any strength training and you're just focused on like cardio or something, going to the gym once a week or something like that, that could be a problem. You know, you're going to decrease the size of your muscles. I experienced that when I first started. I was doing very minimal strength training and feeling terrible in the gym because going back to that calorie creep could be not eating enough calories.
Hmm.
You know, when you're not eating enough, you are draining your energy. Um, but
Yeah.
then the other one is like not addressing the sleep situation. We have a screen in front of us all the time. We are making sure that our days are completed and getting, because we didn't have time to do it during the day. Now we're going to continue that during the night. And we are not addressing that
Hmm.
adequate amount of sleep that we need.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and then the last one I would say is, using
This is a big
keto
one.
as a crash diet instead of a lifestyle. So people are doing cycles of doing keto. Oh, I'm going to go back to keto again, and then they go, off the exit ramp again, and then
Yeah.
that didn't work for me. I need to go back to keto again. They think that this is an on-off thing,
No,
and
it's lifestyle.
you're not going to be able to hit those ultimate lifelong goals of yours by reversing those ailments, by
Hmm.
reversing, helping your metabolic health when you keep going on and off this diet. It's not a
Hmm.
diet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
diet because it's what we're eating. But
right.
so,
Yeah, I haven't kept my 130 pounds off by going off and eating donuts again. I
yeah.
understand that if I eat a donut, I'm going on a 30-pound sugar binge. And
Mhm.
so I have not kept my weight off by going off plan. And that's what so many people do. They just on and off. I'm going to try this because they successfully lost 20 pounds, doing this. My family members are big. I won't out them, but my family members are big, hey, I'm not gonna say what title I have on that, but hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it. And they go in full force. They lose 20 pounds, and then they go back to eating the same lifestyle that they did before. Well, we can tell you what's gonna happen because
Yeah.
you're raising your insulin. It's all about insulin, and when you don't protect your lifestyle, you're gonna go back, right? But that doesn't mean keto didn't work, right? That doesn't mean, and that's when the keto cookies do come in handy. We're not saying don't eat the keto cookies. We're just saying don't make that the foundation of your lifestyle because I need my clients to eat keto cookies because they need to have that yummy, they need to have that comfort food. They need to live life.
Mhm.
And so, that's when they fall off and they lost 30 pounds, they gain 40 pounds back because they go on and off and on and off. You've got to make it a lifestyle. And so keto still works because of science. Again, it lowers your insulin. Insulin is your fat storage hormone. When you have high insulin, you're going to gain weight because it is your fat storage hormone. So keto lowers your insulin. Keto stabilizes your blood sugar. And we're seeing that happen real time with our clients on the CGM. Stabilizes your blood sugar. My most favorite thing is it improves your satiety. You're not hungry on keto because you're eating healthy fats, whole foods, real foods, and you're not hungry. When you have a protein floor built into your lifestyle, you're not hungry, which we have the same impact as the GLP-1, only we're doing it through steak versus a shot, right? You don't have the cravings anymore. You can go from not eating a potato and having that low insulin to eating a potato and not having those sugar spikes because you've healed your metabolic and you're now metabolically flexible. And one of my favorites is it reduces your inflammation. People come to me and say, Doc has me on this medication because I'm inflamed. My body's inflamed. You're inflamed because you're eating sugar and carbs, is why you're inflamed. And so you don't have that when you're on the ketogenic lifestyle. Again, research backs this. You can go to PubMed, you can go to the Cleveland Clinic, you can go through all of these scientific places to back up your lifestyle,
Yeah.
right?
I would one thing I've been hearing, because I follow a lot of keto influencers. I follow a lot of carnivore influencers. Like basically we have a very like-minded foundation when it's focused on whole foods. But one thing I'm noticing is doctors and even nurses are that advocate for this. They're saying, the root and foundational thing here with our bodies is the insulin. Like that's like number one, insulin resistance. The insulin resistance when you are, having that belly fat, when you have a bunch of skin tags, like that's your body showing you that you've got a blood sugar problem, you've got too much of the carbohydrates, and to overcompensate for what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, you can call it whatever you want, but the main root reason here is the insulin, and to control that insulin hormone is by controlling what you put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the sugars, and they talk about, those unhealthy fats that we as a country consume on a day-to-day basis. So these doctors are waking up to the fact that it's not just a problem of what diet you're on. It's about like the root reason of like what diet is going to best suit lowering your insulin levels
Mm-hmm.
and getting that under control
Again,
and
science.
science, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
So,
problem the problem was never keto. The problem
right.
was trying to make quick fixes,
Mm-hmm.
going in and out of this lifestyle, just using it to lose 10 pounds, and then you're screwed because you're like, well, I didn't make this a lifestyle. I just did this to get 20 pounds off my body and go back to the crappy way of eating again.
Yeah.
And so that's not keto's problem. That is a you problem. And part of our jobs as coaches is to take that you problem and make it livable,
Mm-hmm.
because there are ways to make this a beautiful lifestyle. Again, June will be 9 years for me. I'm not missing a dang thing in my
Right.
lifestyle because
Right.
I know what it's doing to me. I know what these foods do to me. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I have this foundation of a lifestyle of understanding what those other foods do to my system that I'm not putting in my system anymore. So the problem is
Yeah.
not keto. You can call it whatever you want. The problem is quick fixes. And the people that are on the GLP-1 are going to have that same problem, because right now they're doing a quick fix. Very dangerous quick fix, but they're doing a quick fix, but they're going to have the same problems as the word keto had of, well, what do I do now that I'm not on the shot? What do I do? I didn't protein anchor my meals. I didn't do strength training. I didn't use the whole foods concept in my GLP-1 journey. And now what am I going to do? Because either I can't afford it, or I'm suffering from mental health illness now because of it. I've lost my eyesight because of it. So you can defend it all you want. And we walk arm in arm with our GLP-1 clients. We walk arm in arm with them, because if you fix your lifestyle, you're not going to need that anymore. And you're going
Yeah.
to take the ownership of your health in your own hands, and you're not going to gain that weight back if you do it the right way. But the right way is not being preached right now. It's just this
Right.
magical cure.
Yeah. And I posted a picture yesterday, and I was going through, in fact, when I was recording a cool video about some informational video, it stopped in the middle saying that I had too much data, or I used up all my data in my photos. So it cut my video short. And I looked at my photos. I have like 20,000 plus videos and photos in my phone from like 2018 on, right? So I'm going through my phone and scrolling through and deleting like videos that I've had there. Like, I've got this saved somewhere else. I don't need this on my phone. And so then I came across this photo of myself when
Oh, yeah.
Colin was 2. And I also had a mistypo because he's actually 13 now, and so this was like 11 years ago instead
I
of
was
10.
doing that math in my head, but I'm like, I'm not good at math, so I'm just going to trust you on that one.
so so now that he's 13, like we took him to Charleston and when he was 2, and I have this photo, and my face at that moment in time, I carry my weight in different places, but I was still, you know, I was either 220 or over. There was a point in time when I just stopped getting on the scale because I'm like, it's just going to disappoint me. And I can tell you that there's people out here right now listening that can probably agree, and that they've not been on the scale for a while because they're like, what's the point anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it just got me to thinking about, at the age portion, and how long we've been doing the ketogenic lifestyle, and how long we've lived this and doing the things and keeping the weight off. Before, I saw food as, just like a fear, because I'm like, no matter what I eat, it doesn't matter if I eat beans and rice, or go eat quinoa, what they say is healthy, or spirulina or things like that. If I get on that kick, or even just focusing on certain supplements and vitamins, it didn't matter what I did. I was not losing that weight,
Mm-hmm.
because I was insulin resistant. I was probably pre-diabetic. That is pre-diabetic. I would say I was pre-diabetic based on the fact that I was getting skin tags. I had this weight around my belly. That's where I carried it, my legs. I had probably at that time, since I had the C-section, I had that undiagnosed portion of lymphatic problems. So I carried a lot of water. There was just a lot going on with me. But the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
bring this up is, now that I look back, I'm like, I was at probably 25, 26, maybe 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That is prime for a prime age for people. They are living their life in the younger years and living it up, and they have, all this health for them, but they are getting older, age happens. And when I hit 30, I got clotheslined.
Mm-hmm.
I have the image of like seeing my first gray hair, or noticing my first gray hair when I turned 30. But not the problem, but now that I look back, I'm like, I was not as healthy as I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
when people have that idea that the older that you get, the your body's just going to start breaking down, you're going to, hit menopause, you're going to start um, you know, having female problems, and you are going to get gray hair and you're going to get wrinkles. Now, the wrinkles, that, you can probably do as much as you can preventing that with your food choices. But for me, I'm healthier than I was when I was in that picture.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
that matters.
older. And I'm
That
hitting
matters.
another age bracket here this year. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be exiting my 30s, and I'm healthier than I was when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that stereotype of the older you get, the more decline you're going to be is
Mm-hmm.
farce, I
Yeah.
think. So,
I read something yesterday that really stuck out to me. It was from Dr. Capehart. He said, we treat health like it's optional because we think death feels so far away.
mm,
So especially when you're in your 30s and 40s, we treat health like it doesn't matter because death is so far away. And then we also think, I'm only hurting myself. And I saw a video yesterday that a client shared with me, and he went through what our health actually does to our family members when we can't walk, when they have to change our diapers, when they have to go to every doctor's appointment with us because we're so unhealthy. The people around you pay the price, and they pay a big price for our health. And I think it's so selfish of us to have that attitude of eat, drink now, for tomorrow we die. We're not just hurting ourselves, we're hurting the people around us. We're hurting the people, who have to stop their lives to take care of us because we think that death is so far away. And so when we talk about these things like keto and like changing our lives, this really matters. And it doesn't just matter to us. What if you were taken off of this planet, 20 years early, when you have grandkids who are, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we die? How is that? How is that not selfish? When we
right.
have the authority in our hands to change our lives, to change our metabolic health, to reverse some of these diseases of human civilization, as Dr. Berry calls it. There's only about four or five diseases that are inherited. Everything else is stuff that we do ourselves. Diabetes type 2, if you're saying that's not preventable, you're listening to the wrong person. You can reverse type 2 diabetes. You know, when we have a client come to us who is on the verge of losing their foot because of diabetes type 2, I'm not talking about type 1, right? I'm talking about type 2. I'm talking about insulin resistance. All of this is diet based. And when we take the media's perspective of how keto is so unhealthy and we don't follow the science instead, that's gypping our families. Because if your family lost you 20 years, then maybe you don't care if you leave this earth 20 years earlier. Maybe you don't care about that. But you know who does care? Is your grandbabies, your kids, the people who have to stop their life to take you to doctors to fix something that you could have prevented in the first place. And so it does matter. And it does. And you and I, Coach, you and I are really passionate about this because we see this happen every day.
Yeah.
And we have a front row seat to seeing these families who are destroyed because we don't care about our health. So call it whatever you want. Science doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Our metabolism doesn't lie. Our sugars do not lie. Those are all facts. And so we want you to really, really think about, as you're going through your life, maybe you're not even to the part of fixing yourself yet, is your family's responsibility for you. The same doctor that I was listening to said, old people don't fall. All these falls that old people have, they don't fall because they trip over something. They fall because they're weak and they don't have any muscle. And their metabolic system is very unhealthy. That's why they fall. So when we don't think long term and we just think short term, gosh darn it, I can't have that Twinkie, right? I think it's selfish. I really do think it's selfish because your family, number one, they love you. Number two, they have lives too. They don't need to be taken off work to take you to the doctor because you chose not to take care of yourself. That's what keto is. Keto is whole foods. Keto is putting your system into a state of ketosis that fights that inflammation, that lowers that insulin, that lowers that sugar that is causing all of these diseases of human civilization. We're not a healthier America right now. We are a sicker generation than we've ever been before. And I think it's time to start looking at that. Why? What are we eating? What are we putting into our bodies?
Right.
It was a little bit of a soap box there.
When we get passionate about it, and I think
Passionate about it.
Perfectly fine, because I think when we've got clients doing the things and they're losing weight and they feel happier and healthier, and then they start to have that, you can see it in their eyes or hear it in their voice of like starting to be distracted. You know, I was talking to, I think I said this last week, where with this 12th grade girls that I work with, like they, you know, when you're just living life and you're waltzing and you're doing the things and you're accepting saying yes to everything and filling up your schedule and just eating on the convenient side, and you're at a fast pace, and then all of a sudden you're looking and get distracted, and then all of a sudden you look forward again. It's kind of like also when you're like driving. If you are driving along and you're following a car and you look to the right for a second because you get distracted by something, and then all of a sudden you see, oh, there's brake lights, and then you slam on the brakes. You're either going to hit that car or the wall because you were distracted by something else. And I think it's important to know that, you know, yes, you can be, you know, going constant with keto or focusing on whole foods, whatever you're choosing to do, and then you get distracted. I think that, you know, you can easily, that hiccup could be the social aspect. It could be the fact that you're bored. It could be the fact that you are looking at what everybody else is eating. When you're not addressing the, you know, the social pillar, the body, not only the body pillar, but the emotional and the spiritual one, you are not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. So yeah, you are going to get distracted because everything else looks colorful and pretty and easy to do.
Yeah.
But that's why we advocate so hard for, doing this with other people that are like-minded so that you can stay focused.
Yeah.
We have such a great group, and we talk about how great our group is every single week almost, because it's a foundation of this lifestyle, is having that accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that accountability, you can have people put you in check, or they can share their struggles that they're going through. And it's like that like-mindedness. Oh, yeah, I am struggling with that too. So then now what are we going to do about it? Well, you have a group of people to work together to figure out, okay, what are you going to do next? What is your next step? Even
Mm-hmm.
just working on with a coach, you may wonder, why am I working with a coach when I can do this on my own?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got your coach listening to you each week. You've got your coach walking with you through what you did this last week that you struggled with. And you've got your coach there to say, okay, I hear you say this, so let's try this next. So there is, always a way that, and we do that because that tool might not work for the next client. It
Yep.
might not work for you the way it's going to work for somebody else.
Yep.
So we have
But
to be able to,
it is all married with the common word of science.
yeah,
So no two clients of ours is on the same program. However, they are all under the banner of low insulin, low
yeah,
sugar, low uh, um, insulin spikes, right? It's
hmm,
all under that banner. Every client has different food choices that they can have, but it's all based under the science. We don't compromise on sugar. Sugar is poison. Sugar is more addictive than crack cocaine. We don't compromise on that. We know what sugar does to the body. We know what the simple carbs do to the body. We know what processed foods do to the body. So there's a commonality of what is a no, what does not serve our body well. But then there is also some flexibility in, okay, what do complex carbs do? What do healthy carbs do to you? Some people can do it, some people can't. We have some
yeah,
people who can do strawberries, some people who can't. It's just depending on your metabolic system. And that is why the live coaching and the CGM program that we have works so well, and why I won't leave it out of our new program. I will not leave the CGM out of our GLP-1 program, because that gives us instantaneous answers to how it's impacting your body. So
yeah.
is keto dead? No, it's
Mm-mm.
not. Call it whatever you want. Give it a name. The science is there. The foundation is there. It's already built for us. And if you don't have a firm foundation of where you start your health journey, you're going to crumble. That's why all of these other fad diets and these shots, all of those things are failing because there's no foundation. It's like building a house on the sand on the beach. It will fall. It's just a matter of when it will fall. Will it fall after you stop the shots? Will it fall after you go off program? Absolutely, it will, because you didn't build the foundation. So we're getting ready to launch our new program. We've been working on it it's been about 2 years, about almost 2.5 years. We've been building this program based on real data, based on my data, based on when I did a trial of the GLP-1. We have been working, building, compiling, tweaking. We have been doing all of these things to our new Beyond the Shot program, because we do not want to ignore our GLP-1 brothers and sisters. We understand. I probably, at almost 300 pounds, probably would have done it because I was so desperate. However, after living a healthy life for the last 9 years, almost 9 years, um, we have discovered that our passion is, we want you to keep that weight off. We want you to be healthy. We want you to live your life free of drugs and of diets for the rest of your life. And so we've been working and just toiling over and behind, in our meetings and closed doors meetings. And we've been just working on the science, and we're about ready to launch our Beyond the Shot program. And this is going to help our GLP-1 brothers and sisters get their life back. It's going to help them
Mm-hmm.
keep their weight off. It's going to help give them freedom that they do not have right now. There's a lot of people who are defending GLP-1s and, oh, I have family members on it and it's doing so well. That is not real, because the minute they stop taking the shot, the weight comes back because they've not changed their lives. And we want to be there as a soft landing place for those people. I haven't announced this yet, haven't even announced the program yet on our social media, but the first 5 clients that we have, we're going to give them a CGM. We're going to provide that in the cost to them so that they don't. Now, this is not an easy program. This is not for people who are curious. This is not for people who are still defending and wanting to live their life the rest of their life on a GLP-1. This is for those who are scared. This is for those who are feeling the mental health crisis that those GLPs bring. This is for those who are wanting to keep their weight off. And so this is a hardcore, hardest coaching we've ever done for 4 months because it's hard. It's science and it's math. It is intense work, week by week. We meet with you face to face. We do the hard work with you for 4 months. So this is not a cheap program. This is not for somebody who just wants to toss, some free work aside and not take it seriously. If you don't take this seriously, it's a really bad financial choice that you're making. This is hard, intense therapy. And so we're getting ready to launch that. It has not been launched yet. But if you do hear this live, if you tell Coach Darcy or myself, I heard you live on Facebook or wherever you're watching us from, we're going to throw in, it's a $200 cost. We're going to throw in the CGM for you for free. And that's for the first 5 people who join the beta program. So again, shot in the dark. This is if you heard us live. Right. After that, it will be, it's not a cheap program, but it's for those who want to keep their weight off. And it's for those who want to change their lives and be around for their grandkids. After the shot. So that's our show for the day. Yeah. It was a 2-parter. It was a 2-parter. If you missed the first part, you might want to hop over, scroll above and see part 1 of this. But I don't know what happened to our technology today, but you never know.
There was a glitch in the system.
A glitch. It was a glitch for sure. So we love you guys. We're here every Tuesday morning. I'm getting ready to take a trip to go see our governor this afternoon, and I'm gonna go fight for some people who are drowning in electricity bills. So that's part 2 of my life.
Yay!
So we love you guys. We love your faithfulness to this program. If this has helped you, if you know of somebody on a GLP-1 and you're worried about them, this is for you. Because we know we've walked there, we've been there. We don't take any client through what we have not walked through. And so if you have some family and friends that could use this, just gently, don't go throw us down their throat. Gently say, listen, honey, I know that you're scared. I know that you're worried. I just want you to know there's a way out. And I just want you to know you don't have to gain the weight back. You don't have to stop the shot abruptly. In fact, if you're on the shot and you want to join the beta program, do not get off the shot, because there's a scientific way of how we do that. So any last thoughts, Coach?
My last thoughts would, if you stopped, it's just going back to the beginning. If you stopped doing keto, it might not have been the keto that went wrong. It could have been your strategy. Mm-hmm. And so if you focus on a new strategy by getting help, by getting some, we're experts at this, I would say. We've been doing this for a while, so I think that considers us experts at coaching this lifestyle. Then, hop on board and reach out and see what program would be best for you, whether it be our Beyond the Shot, whether it be our basic program, our CGM program as well. Like, there are several that could be fitted for you. But definitely, reach out, schedule an appointment with us, and yeah.
Meet with us first before you sign up for a program, because you may be in the wrong program. We want to make sure you're in the right one. So make sure you schedule a free assessment with us first so that we can talk you through it. We want to hear your story. We want to know exactly what your goals are. We want to know what you're doing currently. So reach out to us. Darcy put her link in there. If you want to find the general website, it's kmhealthcoaching.org, and you can find all of the information there. You're not going to find the Beyond the Shot on there yet, just because we have not announced it yet. So if you set up a free health assessment and you're on a GLP-1, just make sure that we know, because we do not want to put you in there. You would crash if you came into our weight loss program. So we need to know that on the front side. That is a legal thing. So we love you guys. We'll be back next Tuesday morning, pending a baby on my side. We're expecting our 3rd grandchild. So you may see Darcy alone next week. You may see both of us here together. So make sure you go to our podcast, Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. And we've got a new podcast dropping today. So make sure you check that out as well. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.